Marcy and Ryan, a McAllen man is calling for action tonight. He met the love of his life in Mexico and signed this I-864 affidavit to bring her here to the U.S. That one move is now causing him the biggest nightmare of his life. Now divorced, she is suing him for alimony, which she says she deserves for the rest of her life. Steve Summers is being sued in federal court by his ex-wife Evangelina Zapata de Summers. After 6 years of marriage, they divorced in 2009. Now she is taking her ex back to court for breaking his contract with her and the U.S. government. Since the mid-90s, the laws required U.S. citizens like Summers to sign the I-864 affidavit to bring a non-U.S. citizen like a spouse into the country. To ensure immigrants do not become a burden on social welfare programs, by signing the document, the sponsor essentially agrees to support the immigrant at 125% of the federal poverty level if they have no income. But if the two parties divorce, the affidavit of support still stands.
A U.S. citizen could really get screwed under these circumstances.
Zapata is suing to obtain alimony for the rest of her life. Summers' attorney Marcus Barrera tells Action 4 even though they are divorced and she's lived in the U.S. for about a decade, he may still have to pay up.
There's no mechanism built in to this particular situation that forces that person to get a job as a permanent resident, get a job, start moving forward, become a citizen, or else you're going to be deported.
According to Summers, his wife can work, but she doesn't. The only way to nullify the I-864 affidavit is if the immigrant becomes a U.S. citizen, works for 10 years, fails to keep permanent residency status, or dies. Even though Summers' ex-wife has been remarried and divorced, the contract remains.
There's no incentive for them ever to become a citizen. There's no incentive for them to work. There's nothing where I can get out of that contract.
So they stay here in limbo and basically, become a parasite to the original person who signs the affidavit of support.
Summers says he's doing all he can to bring attention to this part of immigration reform that is rarely spoken about and often misunderstood by lawmakers and attorneys.
I had a very hard time finding an attorney. I went to attorneys who specialize in immigration, and I was told this was a figment of my imagination. You don't have anything to worry, Steve, and only to find out that it has started to happen.
That's why Summers is reaching out to Valley congressmen.
The law is fairly ambiguous, and I think there's some clarification that could be made.
Any immigration bill should have something in there that forces a permanent resident, if they're not going to work or become a permanent or productive member of U.S. society, they need to be deported back where they came from, or else the rest of the citizens of the United States, including the sponsor, is going to have to support them.
And Marcy and Ryan, Action 4 News did put in a call to Congressman Hinojosa's office to share Summers' story, and the office did respond. They tell us here at Action 4 that they will address this issue as they formulate a new immigration reform bill inside of the House. Reporting from the Hidalgo County Newsroom, I'm Brett Crandall for Action 4 News.